Hello and welcome to this unit about the integration assessment based on IASM. So let me right away explain what do we mean with IASM. IASM stands for SAP Integration Solution Advisory Methodology. And the SAP Integration Solution Advisory Methodology provides a technology-agnostic framework to define and execute your enterprise integration strategy. So what do we mean by that? The SAP Integration Solution Advisory Methodology provides guidance, recommendations for which integration domain, integration style, and use case, which integration technology shall be used. And the good thing is of the SAP Integration Solution Advisory Methodology is it is technology agnostic. So customers can use it in the context of SAP as well as non-SAP applications. And coming to point number 2, it is also adaptable. So customers can also adapt the methodology to their own needs. And with the SAP Integration Solution Advisory Methodology, we provide patterns, architecture blueprints, as well as best practices. So customers can directly take the recommendations and implement their integration strategy based on the SAP Integration Solution Advisory Methodology. And with the SAP Integration Solution Advisory Methodology, we cover all integration use cases and patterns, at least to the best of our knowledge. Any feedback is as always welcome. We also constantly increase the methodology based on new integration patterns that come up. Yeah, and with the SAP Integration Solution Advisory Methodology, customers can also shape and increase the maturity level of the integration strategy. So coming maybe from a complete non-systematic integration approach where any integration technology is used in arbitrary context and for arbitrary use cases, customers can use the Integration Solution Advisory Methodology in a first step to assess the integration strategy and come up with a guided scoping of integration requirements. Then in the next iteration, customers can apply proven integration patterns, use cases for process, data, user-centric integration scenarios. In the next iteration on the maturity level, they can also reuse predefined architecture blueprints and best practices, recommendations, and last but not least, the climax, so to speak, of your integration strategy. In your company, you can also establish an enablement practice for integration, which provides roles and a governance across all your integration technology within your enterprise. Yeah, and here an example how the, in principle, SAP Integration Solution Advisory Methodology is defined. So it starts with high-level integration domains, such as on-premise to on-premise integration, on-premise to cloud-to-cloud integration, integration with users, integration with devices, which can then be broken down into underlying integration styles, like process integration is an integration style, data integration, analytical integration. And these integration styles can be further broken down into so-called integration use case patterns. For example, for process integration, we have as typical use case patterns A-to-A integration, application-to-application integration, B2B integration, integration with business partners, integration with government agencies, B2G integrations, etc. There are also cross-integration use cases, for example, API-based integration, event-based integration, and these integration use case patterns can then be broken down into the technology mapping. So with the recommendations for which of these use case patterns, which integration technology shall be used. Yeah, and with all these recommendations and with this framework, which is adopted by thousands of customers, there was very soon also the wish there that we do not only provide a methodology as part of a PowerPoint and a detailed description as part of the CIO guide, for example. There's also the wish to provide a tool-based approach, so based on a tool to provide where customers can define their integration landscapes and also provide recommendations to which integration technology they shall use for the integration use cases. So this requirement has been fulfilled, and the integration assessment capability is available with SAP Integration Suite, which provides a tool-based approach for the implementation of SAP's integration solution advisory methodology. So with the help of this integration assessment capability of SAP Integration Suite, customers have now a tool-based approach to define and govern and execute their integration technology strategy. So with the help of the integration assessment capability, customers have a tool-based support for decision-making of the right integration technology to be used for certain integration scenarios. They can introduce an integration governance within the company, and also the tool is similarly to the PowerPoint version of the methodology. Also the tool is adaptable, customizable to your own needs. Yeah, so let's see how the tool works in principle before I start with the demo. So in principle, there are 3 steps as part of this integration assessment capability. In the first step, the integration architect would start to custom the integration strategy, so basically adapt from the SAP delivered integration solution advisory methodology. We ship content with respect to the integration domains, the styles and the patterns, and customers can adapt these integration domains and styles and patterns, delete the ones which are not relevant, introduce new patterns, for example, in case these make sense in the customer-specific landscape. And there are also questionnaires delivered out of the box as part of the integration assessment capability. And also these questionnaires can be adapted on customer needs. And with the help of the questionnaires, policies are executed and recommendations are triggered, which then guide customers when to use which integration technology. And besides the adaptation of the methodology, customers or the integration architect will then also configure customer-specific landscape information. So which are the applications and integration technologies available in my own customer landscape. In a second step, we would switch the head and hand over the next task to the business domain expert. And the business domain expert would then, on a very high level, define the integration requirement, the integration scenario for a certain business use case, for example, define which are the source and target applications that shall be integrated with, and which is the integration use case, the business process context, basically. And this is done as part of a so-called business solution request or questionnaire. And this business solution request is then turned over into a technical interface request, which is then taken by the integration developer and then specified in further details on the integration requirements, from an integration perspective, from a more technical perspective, and then the assessment capability calculates based on the interface request by the integration developer, which is the integration tool of choice for the specified integration scenario and the interface request defined as per the integration developer. So let's now take a look into the demo. So how does the integration assessment capability look in real life? So now we are here in the integration assessment capability of SAP Integration Suite. In the middle, we see the 2 requests, business solution request, which is created and submitted by the business domain expert, as well as the interface request, which is then submitted by the integration developer. But before we start on the requests, we switch the role into the integration architect, who will first go into the settings area of the integration assessment capability and take a look in the integration domains, integration styles, integration use case patterns, and all the other settings delivered out of the box by the integration assessment capability based on the integration solution advisory methodology. And we see here the pre-shipped content like cloud-to-cloud integration domain, on-premise to cloud, and on-premise to on-premise domain. You can also create your own custom domains as we see it here on the examples. And this is true also for all the other settings here, the integration styles and use case patterns, for example, which can be modified by customers. And similar for the questionnaire, the business domain request as well as the interface request can also be modified, and new interface requests can be created by you as a customer. The details, for example, here in the connectivity section, can also be modified by you as a customer. So, for example, which type of communication protocols you would like to allow in your system landscape, technical adapters, application adapters. Do you allow, or does the interface request contain, for example, a protocol conversion from the sender to the receiving system, for example? Would you like to integrate with business partners? Such kind of information you can include here. Also, the landscape can be completely specified by the integration architect, the applications that are being used in the customer-specific landscape, as well as all the integration technology that is also available in the customer landscape, SAP integration technology like the application interface framework or SAP integration suite, as well as non-SAP integration technology. And then the heart of the integration assessment capability are the policies on which basis the technology recommendations are being calculated and provided to customers. So now let's switch the head, and now we are in the role of a business domain expert, which starts a so-called business solution request in order to trigger technology recommendation for a certain business scenario. So the business domain expert clicks here on the business solution request, creates a new business technology request, gives here arbitrary name, here like a sales order, confirmation, provides some metadata information. The business domain request is now in draft status. We provide here some metadata, which is the business process that this scenario belongs to. When is the planned go live date? What is the criticality of my business scenario? Then I can go to the next step in order to initiate the interface request. And for this interface request, I can provide again an arbitrary name which specifies my scenario. I can provide information of my source system, for example, a cloud for customer system in the cloud, as the name says, as well as here for target application, we could include here a SAP S/4HANA system. It's a process integration style. And then last but not least, as part of this business solution request, we can upload additional information, URLs, specifications, etc., and then submit the request so that in the next step, now the integration developer sees this interface request, navigates to the newly created interface request, and then provides additional details. For example, so which integration use case patterns this scenario belongs to, like A-to-A integration in this use case. Then whether we would like to reuse, for example, prepackaged integration content. This is one of the key benefits of the integration solution advisory methodology and the integration assessment capability. We can also now, based on the integration scenario, navigate to the SAP Business Accelerator Hub, search for the scenario like sales order confirmation that we would like to implement, and can directly navigate here to the SAP Business Accelerator Hub, find prepackaged integration content that could fit to our integration scenario. And this integration content we can directly link here in the interface request, so that then the integration expert who will implement the scenario can directly find here the link to the prepackaged content that could be used in this context. Then again, connectivity options, like to go for technology adapters. No B2B integration is required in this use case. Then monitoring, for example, I can specify here that like a business domain expert would like to monitor, to do interface monitoring and forward error handling in the backend application. We can take a fine look at the interface request and then calculate what is the technology recommendation. And as you can see here, the integration assessment capability provides the recommendation that for this use case, with these boundary conditions requirements as entered in the interface request, the SAP Application Interface Framework as well as the cloud integration capability of SAP Integration Suite are a best fit. The SAP Application Interface Framework is best fit for the monitoring use case, like for the backend interface monitoring in the backend. You can also click on these tiles and can also see how the recommendations have been calculated. We will see here for the transformations, for example, the Application Interface Framework provides transformation capabilities, however, no prepackaged integration content. While if we now navigate to the cloud integration capability, we also see that the cloud integration capability provides additional prepackaged content. That's why also you see here the green color. So a better technology fit for the transformation capabilities is the cloud integration capability of SAP Integration Suite. Yeah, and then we can choose our recommendations. So we go for SAP Application Interface Framework and the cloud integration capability of SAP Integration Suite, and can even choose here now an instance of the integration component which is available in my landscape. And with this, I have specified now, or calculated and specified, the recommended integration technology for my use case. So let me end this unit with a quick summary. I hope I could show you that SAP's integration strategy aims to deliver end-to-end business processes, integrated end-to-end business processes, and the SAP Integration Solution Advisory methodology allows you to define, govern, document, and execute this integration strategy. And the SAP Integration Solution Advisory methodology, together with the integration assessment capability, provides customers the possibility to implement the integration strategy based on the architecture blueprints, best practices, and recommendations.